All right, hello everybody. Welcome to another live stream on Woo English. This is a late live stream. It was supposed to be done yesterday, but due to some circumstances I'm going through recently, I just didn't want to miss this week and miss like seeing you live on Woo English. So for those of you who are probably joining for the first time, this is Woo English, a channel dedicated and specialized in learning English through stories. And this is a live stream. Normally, we share one video every single day. You will find the videos in the video section on our channel, videos that are dedicated or that can be used to learn English like the natural way, right? And in addition to the videos that we share on our channel, we also do these live streams where we uh, uh, have, or what I like to have, like opportunities to speak to you directly, to receive your questions, to answer your questions if you have any, to get to know you, and also to give you a chance to speak with me, as the title of the live stream suggestion, also to test your English. Today, of course, will be another test your English or speak with me session, and we are going to go through a series of activities through which you are going to get a chance to see how well you are doing in English. And the first activity, of course, will be that of pronunciation, right? And in pronunciation, I would love to focus on a very, very important uh, 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 part of pronunciation, which is stress. But we are going to learn that step by step, right? So let's take the words that you can see on top of the screen. So I have, oh, right? Okay, this is better. So I have a series of words, and I would love for you to divide each word into sound units. We actually did this in the other live stream, but I would love to redo it again, maybe with new people who are probably joining today. I would love to give you also the chance to get to know the stress rules in English. So I have a series of words. If I ask you to divide each word into sound units, I'm not talking about one sound, but I'm talking about chunks, like pieces of sound that you can divide these words into. How many would you find? For example, let's take the word. Well, I'm going to help you by providing two words or answering for two words, which is cat and elephant. So cat only has one sound unit, which is cat, right? Cat is one sound unit. And the word elephant has elephant, right? So it has three. Elephant. So three for elephant and one for a cat. Let me show you again the words I'm talking about. So cat, elephant, apple, jump, computer, watermelon, happy, telephone, sunshine, and butterfly. If we want to divide each of these words into units, make of each word. As they said, cat is only one, and elephant is two. This simple task actually will be very important later on when we will try to learn about the stress patterns in English. And stress patterns are actually what will make your pronunciation sound very native like. So I'm going to share with you the answer. I think the majority of you are new here and are not familiar with our system. So you can share whatever you like in the chat. You can comment whatever you like. If you have any questions, if you have any remarks, if you have anything, if you want to answer any activity, you do that in the chat down below. You can even now try to test if it's working by writing the country that you are watching this live stream from. For example, I'm live streaming from Morocco. I would love to know what are the countries that are with us today before we continue the test. So if you can please write for me the country that you are joining us from. As I said, I'm joining from Morocco. I would love to see if there are any Moroccans, any Indians. There are a lot of Indian followers, Chinese people as well, Japanese. So who is here with us today? Before we can start, and while I have you here, if you can please double click on the screen to see if the like button works. So if you can just double click on the screen, just double click in the middle of the screen to like this video and also to help spread the word. Today, of course, we are going to see how good you are in pronunciation in English. I know a lot of people suffer with pronunciation. A lot of people find many difficulties learning pronunciation. Learning pronunciation in English is quite challenging because there are a lot of problems. Thank you, Jim Rock. Thank you. So, as I said, which city are you from, Jim Rock? Which city are you from? So, as I said, pronunciation is one of the parts of English or the components of English that a lot of people suffer from or have a lot of issues with. And one of the things that we are going to talk about today is called word stress. Word stress. And when you master word stress, believe me, your English will sound very, very native like. Because the sound pattern in English or the pronunciation pattern in English is not similar to other languages like Arabic or like French or like Spanish even. English people have a special rhythm that is controlled by what we call word stress, and this is what we are going to learn today. So let me recapitulate where I was. So I gave you a series of words and I asked you a simple question or a simple task, which is, can you divide the words for me into chunks, into pieces of sounds? Let's take the first word, which is cat. Cat actually is cannot be divided, right? So if I want to say cat, I cannot say cat or I cannot say cat, right? I can't say that. It's cat. It's one word and it's also one piece of sound. Let's take the second word, which is elephant. So the word elephant is divided into three. Let's try that. And one of the ways, one of the methods is clapping. So cat can only fit one clap in cat. I cannot say cat, right? Cat. I can't say that. But let's take elephant. Elephant, I can say elephant. You notice that the rhythm of the word elephant has three pieces of sounds or three chunks. When I say chunks, I mean like a group of sounds, right? That go together. So, cat, I cannot say cat, and I cannot say cat, all right? And elephant, I can indeed say elephant. Elephant, right? I can, so it has three of those sounds. I'm gonna tell you what we call them later on. Let's carry on. Let's take the word apple. So apple, there are people who consider it one apple. You can hear me clap, but there are others who consider it two apple. Apple. You can see that I can fit two claps in the word apple. So apple has two chunks. Each chunk in each word is divided by a dash. You can see them on the screen. Jump. Jump is one chunk, one piece of sound. Jump. As I said, you can see how many sounds or how many chunks of sounds are in a word by clapping. When I say jump, I cannot say jump, right? You notice that two claps don't fit inside of jump. It's only one. Jump, jump, right? Elephant, elephant. I can fit three claps in elephant, right? Please make sure to write for me something. I would love to know if you are following and if what I'm saying makes sense to you or no. Let's take the next word, which is computer, if I'm not mistaken. So the word computer can be divided into computer, right? You can see that I can fit three claps inside of computer. Computer, computer, right? So three claps inside of computer. So computer has three chunks. Watermelon. The word watermelon has one, two, three, four, has four chunks. All right. So watermelon, watermelon, right? I'm gonna tell you, as I said, what is the name of these chunks and why understanding this will take your pronunciation to the next level. So let's carry on. Happy. Happy has two. Happy, right? You can. I think you can all agree with me. Happy. I cannot say three. I cannot say happy, right? I cannot say that. It's only two. Happy. Telephone has three. Sunshine has two. Sunshine. Butterfly has three. Butterfly. All right. So now, so for those of you who are probably just joining, of course, welcome. What have we been doing so far? We have been dividing words into chunks, into groups of sounds that go together. Why are we doing this? Very simply, because this will help us in the next step of learning pronunciation or of improving our pronunciation in English. All right. So why do we call these chunks? So let's read the rule. Of course, you can always take a screenshot of the rule to keep it with you. I don't mind. So rule says all words in English can be divided into sound units that are called syllables. So each of the chunks of each words here is called a syllable. For example, the word cat only has one syllable. The word elephant, you can notice, has three syllables. So, why do we need these syllables? We need them because they control the way you pronounce words in a very, very important way. So, let's carry on. All words in English can be divided into units called syllables. Words have or can have one, two, or multiple syllables. So let's go back. For example, cat has only one syllable. Jump has only one syllable. Apple has two. Happy also has two. Sunshine has two. Elephant, computer, telephone, butterfly has three. And the word watermelon has four. So every word in English can be divided into syllables. It can have one, it can have two, or it can have multiple. Now, this is the most important piece of information I want you to get today, which is that in one word, for example, let's take elephant, which has three syllables. Those syllables don't have the same value. This is the most important piece of information I want to give you today. So, if a word has three syllables or two syllables, any number of syllables other or bigger than two or bigger than one, those syllables don't have the same value. All right. And the syllable that has the most value is called a stressed syllable. We're not talking about the stress that we have in our modern life. We are talking about the stress that you notice in pronunciation. Let me give you a word. Let's take the word happy. Someone is happy, someone is joyful. Let's take the word happy, which is an easy word. Happy is not pronounced I'm happy, I'm happy. Happy has two syllables. Happy, happy, right? But they don't have the same value because when we pronounce them, you will notice that ha is louder, it's longer, and also it has more energy than P. I always say, I'm very happy to see you. You can notice that I'm pronouncing it happy, happy. So I'm putting more effort into ha than into P. I'm very happy to see you. And you will notice this even in sentences, because even in the middle or in big sentences, every word will have a certain rhythm. And that's why when you are listening to a native English speaker, you will notice that that word, that pronunciation goes up and down very quick. I'm going to give you an example. Today was a long day. Let's take today. So you will notice that today has two syllables, to and day. Today, right? And day is louder than to, right? Today, today. It's the opposite of happy, happy. You notice that. So today I went to the supermarket, and then from there I went to the beach where I played some football. And while playing football, I saw an old friend. So you will notice that the pronunciation in English goes up and down. It's not monotonous, right? Why is that? Because the words or the syllables inside of words don't have the same value. Happy, today, excited, information, right? One of the syllables in every word will get all the energy of the word, and we call that syllable a stressed syllable, right? I'm gonna give you a little bit of time. You can take a screenshot if you want of this first rule before we carry on. So I hope you have taken your screenshot. If you did, please write for me done in the chat. All right, I will assume you have taken your screenshot, so let's move on. All right, so this phenomenon where one syllable inside of the word is or receives more value than the other sounds is called word stress. Word stress. And as I said, it has nothing to do with the stress that we all feel in modern life. Okay, so let's take the following words, and I wanna ask you where does the stress fall in the following words? So let's take this word. Can you tell me? So the word banana is pronounced banana or banana with no stress. Which one is the correct pronunciation of the word banana? I said it actually. So is it A, is it B, is it C? So the word has three syllables. Where does the stress fall? Syllable one, syllable two, or syllable three? All right, so I'm going to share the answer. So the answer simply is banana. It's number two. So the word banana is has three syllables, so it can be divided into three sound units. And the sound unit or the syllable that receives most or more value than the others is the second one. Let me give you the word in a sentence, or if someone can write for me a sentence with the word banana in the chat. And you notice how I'm pronouncing it. Even when I pronounce it, I say banana, right? So I'm putting more stress. I'm speaking louder in the second syllable than in the first or the last. I have eaten a banana today, right? So when you speak this way, when you take into consideration word stress in your pronunciation, when you make one of the sounds or one of the syllables in a word, or in each word actually, stressed, your pronunciation will definitely improve 100%. So I have eaten a banana today. You notice even the word today, I put more stress in the second syllable day than into, right? So I have eaten a delicious banana today. Delicious, right? You notice that even for the word delicious, I'm putting more pressure. Again, to recapitulate, maybe for people who were not here so far or not here before, uh, so we are talking about pronunciation and we are focusing on word stress. So word stress basically is we take every word in English, we divide it into syllables, what we call syllables, and in every word in English, one of the syllables should be louder and should be more pressured, right? More pressure. That's why we call it stress. We stress that syllable. We focus on it, right? For the word banana, the second syllable, you will notice from my pronunciation, the word na or the syllable na, the second one, receives more stress. So I have eaten a banana today, right? Okay, let's take the second word and see where the stress will fall. So the word is this. I'm not gonna read it so that you don't take any hints from my pronunciation. Is it photograph? Is it photograph? Is it photograph? Or is it photograph with no stress? No answers, I'm not sure why, but let's carry on. So the word is pronounced photograph. Photograph. I went to the beach today and I took a photograph. I took a photograph today. So that's the correct pronunciation of the word photograph. All right, now for the word this one, which is related to the word photograph. So the word photograph means a single photograph that you take, but this word means the whole hobby or the whole field of taking photographs. All right, so this word this time is pronounced photography. So you will notice sometimes that even words that are related to each other, like photograph and photography, are not pronounced the same. So photograph, photography, right? So even the stress falls on different words. So let's go back and see how this happens. So photograph, but here we have photography. I think there is another one. No, there isn't. So I'm going to share it here. So I'm going to share it on top of the screen. Let me write it down and then I'm going to share it. So the word. All right. So let's take, for example, or let me actually recapitulate from the very beginning. So we're talking today about word stress. We're talking about that words can be divided into different chunks that we call syllables, and that syllables in a single word, like the syllables inside of a word, don't have the same value. So one of the syllables in every single word in English will have more value than the other syllables in the same word. We call that word stress. And we said that some words that can be related are not always or don't always have similar word stress patterns. So let's take these two words, for example. Both of them are related. They come or they are derived from the same root. But economy, you will notice that I'm putting more stress on economy. I'm studying economy, or the economy is very down these days or recently. But the field is economics. I'm putting the stress on a different word or a different syllable. So this is what happens sometimes. Like you have similar words, but well, they are similar words. They come from the same root, but they don't have the same stress pattern. So economy and economics, right? They are similar, but they have different stress pattern. The same for photograph and photography. Photograph, the stress is on the first syllable. Photography is on top. Photography. Let's carry on. All right. What about this one? How do we stress or how do we pronounce this word in English? I think I'm gonna reveal directly. So the word is police, right? Police. If you see a crime, please call the police, right? Police. So the second syllable, "lease," is the one that is stressed in the word police. What about this word? Is it A, B, C, or D? Please write for me your answer in the chat. All right, I think everybody went to sleep today because the chat is very silent. All right, so the word, of course, is engineer. That's how the word is correctly pronounced. Probably let me jump this section Let me go. Oh, not this one. All right. No. Okay. All right. So let me share with you this case. So sometimes there are some special cases in pronunciation in English, and one of them is this one. In this case, we have two words that are similar to each other, but each one of them is or has a different category. So, for example, the first one, I will contact you, which is a verb, and the second one is, do you have his contact, which is a noun. All right. So, how do we pronounce that? You can notice that when it is a verb, it's the second syllable that is pronounced. I will contact you. I will contact you tomorrow. All right, but when it is a noun, do you have his contact? The word contact in the second sentence is not a verb, it's a noun, and it means the contact information, right? So when the word is a verb, so if we have a verb, if we have a word that can be either a noun or a verb, if when it is a verb, we stress the second syllable. When it is a noun, we stress the first syllable. So this is the rule. I'm going to give you some time if you would love to take a screenshot. There are two more examples, of course, the word contact and the word record. So when it is a verb, it's record. Hey, is the machine recording? And record. Hey, did you listen to the artist's latest record? So when it is a noun, it's the first syllable. When it is a verb, it's the second syllable. That is So if you have taken a screenshot, let's take some examples. So these are some verbs. Of course, I'm going to move on directly to the correction. So the words or the syllables that are highlighted are the ones that you should stress. So, for example, noun conflict, verb conflict. Noun import, verb import. Noun increase, verb increase. Noun decrease, verb decrease. Noun export, verb export. Noun insult, verb insult. Noun protest, verb protest. Noun update, verb to update. And finally, noun record and verb record. I think that, well, the difference here between the noun and the verb in some words can be very, very light and unnoticeable, but it's there. It's more visible in the two words contact. I have his contact, I will contact you. And in the word record, I have the record, or I will record, and I have the record. Okay. All right. So let's do this exercise and probably we will end the live stream. So now from pronunciation, we will go directly to spelling, to writing. And I have for you this little sentences with one mistake. If you can spot the mistake that is present in each sentence. As I said today, it seems that the people are already sleeping. Of course, we apologize that we have been changing like the timing of the live stream very frequently recently, just because um, I have some stuff going on recently, and I hope they will be fixed very soon. So I think that's all for today. Maybe we'll meet next session. Take care of everybody. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next